of the National Assembly this afternoon, being the last day of the House calendar for this session, where the National Assembly, upon the rise of the House this evening, the House will be proceeding for the long recess for the December holiday. And in the highlights of business this afternoon is a resolution to hold a Thursday sitting, being an evening sitting away from the afternoon sitting, a clear indication that the National Assembly is set to hold two sittings for the better part of this afternoon. This procedural motion is informed by a special motion that is set to be moved under this current sitting that is set to be commencing any moment from now. We'll be hearing from the mover of the motion in regards to the special motion that will be moved for the better part of this afternoon sitting. And that special motion will be informing the second part of the evening sitting of the National Assembly this afternoon. I understand that a report will be tabled this afternoon in regards to matters that needs consideration of the National Assembly. But away from the procedural motion that seeks to have the National Assembly sit from 2:30 all the way to 4 p.m. and then again commence the second part of that sitting, being the evening sitting from 4:15 p.m. all the way to the 9 p.m. There are other matters for consideration before the National Assembly this afternoon. They include the consideration of the agreement on establishing Shelter Afrique Development Bank. And this is a motion by the chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and Budget, where the National Assembly is set to resume debate that has a balance of about 2 hours. And in this motion, on the consideration of the agreement for establishing the Shelter Afrique Development Bank, the chairperson on the Departmental Committee on Finance will be seeking to have the National Assembly adopt the report of the committee following its consideration of the agreement for the establishment of the Shelter Afrique Development Bank. The Committee on Finance laid its report on the table of the National Assembly on the 2nd day of December, and that passed on to the provisions of Section 8, Subsection 4 of the Treaty Making and Ratification, Cap 4D. The House approves the ratification of the agreement establishing the Shelter Afrique Development Bank. There are a number of motions in today's order paper, but away from the motions and the bill, on Standing Orders number 44, subsection 2C, a number of statements are set to be requested this afternoon. Given priority is Honorable Emathe Namwar, Member of Parliament for Turkana Central, who will be requesting for a statement in regards to the disruption of Kalokol Water Project in Turkana Central constituency, and that statement will be handled by the Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation. Honorable Kasim Tandaza, Member of Parliament for Matuga constituency, will be requesting for a statement this afternoon pertaining the blockage of bank account of a Kenyan citizen by the Rahji Bank of Saudi Arabia. And this statement will be handled by the Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. Dear viewers, if you're just joining us, the business of the National Assembly is just about comments spearheaded by or presided over by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula. Kindly allow me to hand over for this live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing.
Mheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wanadamu, tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutiita tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tukuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na tujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote tutakayofikisha mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako siendelezwe na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu, na wale ambao hawajasawa wamesikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. We have quorum. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell.
At exactly 14:35 in the PM, the business of the National Assembly has already kicked off, but we have a small issue with quorum, and that matter has necessitated the ringing of the quorum bell as directed by the Speaker of the National Assembly. And as we await for that quorum to be attained, where the sergeant-at-arms right at the entrance of the chamber will be signaling their counterparts, who then subsequently will be informing the Speaker that that quorum has been attained. Allow me to take you through the business in today's order paper lined up for consideration by the National Assembly. Before I handed you over, I was informing you of Standing Orders number 44, subsection 2C, that allows members of the National Assembly to request for statements on matters of national importance. The Honorable Joseph Gitari, Member of Parliament for Kirinyaga Central, will be requesting for a statement on repatriation of Miss Lilian Njeri from Oman. And this statement will be handled by the Committee on Diaspora and Migrant Workers. Honorable Mohamed Machele, Member of Parliament from Vita. His statement pursuant to Standing Orders number 44, subsection 2C, is on harmonization of the House allowance and review of delocalization policy for teachers in Mombasa County. This statement will be handled and subsequently responded by the Committee on Education, and these committees are charged with the responsibility of seeking answers on behalf of individual members who have raised this request for statements from relevant government agencies and reporting back to the House. The Committee on Energy will be handling the statement that will be sought by Honorable Yusuf Farah, Member of Parliament for Wajir West, on the frequent power blackouts in Wajir County. There are a number of members who will be seeking for statements, but away from that, there are also statements that were sought a while back that are set to be responded to this afternoon. The Committee on Administration and Internal Security will be bringing answers that were sought by Honorable Professor Guyo Jadesa, Member of Parliament for Moyale.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Is that Naisula? Take your seat, or the nearest seat.
So you can recognize them when they come.
Okay.
And then there are the 2 for after papers laid. There are 2 that you will issue when papers are laid.
Yes.
This one and this one. So you will
Yes, you have them. You have them with you? Okay. Honorable members, I have a communication to guide on the timelines for consideration for the field development plan and product sharing contracts for Block T6 and T7 in the South Lokichar Basin, Turkana County. Honorable members, you recall that on Thursday, 27th November 2025, I guided the House on the procedure for consideration of the product sharing contracts and field development plan for blocks T6 and T7 located in South Lokichar Basin, Turkana County, tabled in the House on the same day. In the communication, I directed that the production sharing contracts and the field development plan for blocks T6 and T7 located in the South Lokichar Basin be referred to the Departmental Committee on Energy for consideration. I further directed that in compliance with Section 10(2) as read together with Section 15 of the Natural Resources Classes of Transactions Subject to Ratification Act Cap 387B, the statutory timeline provided for in the Act shall lapse on Wednesday, 4th March 2026. This is because the reckoning and counting of days ceases during the recess period and resumes on the first sitting day upon resumption of the House. Honourable members, noting that the production sharing contract and the field development plan were submitted in accordance with the Petroleum Act Cap 308, a clear reading of Section 31(5) of the Petroleum Act Cap 308 provides that Parliament has 90 days within which to make a decision. For context, Section 31(5) of the Petroleum Act provides, and I quote, if Parliament does not make a decision under subsection 2 within 90 days, the production sharing contract and the field development plan shall be deemed to have been ratified. I urge the Departmental Committee on Energy to forthwith commence consideration of the product sharing contracts and field development plan and to seek to reach out to their counterparts in the Senate. This should be undertaken after the period for collation of public views closes, that is 20th December 2025. The committees are encouraged to convene joint sittings for the examination of the contracts as well as the views that will ensue from the public participation exercise. This will ensure consistency, eliminate redundancies, and promote an informed bicameral approach in the process. Indeed, such collaboration will expedite the consideration of the agreements by the Houses of Parliament. To facilitate timely deliberation by the House, the Departmental Committee is required to submit its report to the House by Tuesday, 17th of February 2026. The House is accordingly guided.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Take the nearest seats. Kamukunji member, take your seat. Honourable members, I have a public petition to present regarding compensation for residents affected by the construction of the Embu Ring Connector Road project in Embu County. Honourable members, Article 119 of the Constitution accords any person the right to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority. Further, Standing Order 2252B requires the Speaker to report to the House any petition other than that presented by a member. All members, I wish to report to the House that my office has received a petition from a Mr. Francis Munene of ID number 46-26 and others being residents and landowners affected by the construction of the Embu Hospital, Kathangariri, Kianjokoma, Kanja Runyenje, Siakago, Embu Ring Connector Road project in Embu County. The petitioners aver that the Kenya National Highways Authority, KENHA, and the National Land Commission, NLC, compulsorily acquired private land pursuant to Article 43 of the Constitution and the Land Act 2012 for the construction of the 63-kilometer Embu Ring Connector Road. The petitioners further state that the said road project is officially recorded in national project trackers as the Embu Hospital Kathiangariri Kianjokoma Kanja Runyenje Siakago Road. Honorable members, the petitioners indicate that the implementation of the project adversely affected numerous households, farms, and business premises along the project corridor, resulting in economic hardship, disruption of livelihoods, and displacement of families. The petitioners state that on 23rd February 2024, a Gazette notice was issued confirming the compulsory acquisition and listing all affected parcels for compensation. They contend that this Gazette notice created a legitimate expectation that compensation will be prompt, adequate, and timely as required under the Constitution and the Land Act. Honorable members, the petitioners lament that despite the ongoing construction and advancement of works, many project-affected persons, PAPs, remain uncompensated to date. The petitioners further indicate that this failure has resulted in the loss of homes, agricultural land, and sources of livelihood, inability to relocate or build, serious financial distress, including difficulties serving loans tied to the affected properties, emotional and psychological strain, and disruption of community stability and economic activity along the project corridor. Honorable members, the petitioners submit that there are repeat follow-ups with KENHA, NLC, and local administrative offices have not yielded clear timelines, explanations for the delays, or any definitive action, leaving the affected residents frustrated and without recourse. The petitioners express concern that the continued delay in compensation violates their constitutional right to property, fair administrative action under Article 47, and their social and economic rights under Article 43. Honorable members, the petitioners affirm that the issues in respect of which the petition is raised are not pending before any court of law, constitutional body, or legal body. The petitioners therefore pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, 1, investigates the status of compensation for all PAPs along the Embu Hospital, Kathangariri, Kianjokoma, Kanja, Runyenje, Siakago Road, including the reasons for delay or non-payment, the accuracy and fairness of evaluation reports, and the legal status of the compulsory acquisition. Recommends prompt and fair compensation for all PAPs in accordance with Article 43 of the Constitution and the Land Act. And 3, make any other recommendations or take any actions it deems appropriate to address the plight of the petitioners. Having determined, honorable members, that the matters raised by the petitioner are well within the authority of this House, I order that, pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 2271, this petition be committed to the Public Petitions Committee, and the committee is required to consider the petition and report its findings to the House and the petition in accordance with Standing Order 2272. Thank you. Next. Yes, Jared? Jared, if you hold.
Okay.
Hold, Jared, and for a second petition.
Okay.
Then I can allow you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Come, Kate, take the nearest seat. Thank you. The second petition, honorable members, regards encroachment of community land by the Kenya Wildlife Service in Kitui South constituency. Honourable members, Article 119 of the Constitution accords any person the right to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority. Further, Standing Order 2252B requires the Speaker to report to the House any petition other than that presented by a member. Honourable members, I wish to report to the House that my office has received a petition from a Mr. Mutuku Kisungu of ID number 101-, and others being residents of Kitui South constituency and affected by the encroachment of community land by the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, in Kitui County. The petitioners aver that the residents are recognized as ancestral owners and customary occupants of land adjacent to and surrounding the Kitui Wildlife Conservation Zones and have for generations exercised customary rights over grazing land, water points, settlement areas, cultural sites, and community-managed resources while coexisting with the conservation agencies. Honourable members, the petitioners state that without proper consultation, consent, public participation, nor compensation as required under the Constitution and the Community Land Act, KWS has allegedly encroached on and irregularly expanded into community land in multiple locations in Kitui South. The petitioners allege that this encroachment has resulted in displacement, loss of access to grazing fields, disruption of farming activities, and restriction of movement, thereby undermining socioeconomic rights of the affected residents who are majorly farmers. The petitioners indicate that KWS demarcation of new areas as wildlife territory without following lawful procedures for compulsory acquisition, surveying, boundary variation, or gazettement as required under the Constitution and relevant land laws, and these actions have intensified and further increasing the human-wildlife conflict in the affected areas. The petitioners further state that the attempts by the community to obtain clarification from KWS, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, the County Government of Kitui, and relevant government offices have not yielded clear boundary maps, legal documents, or justification for the alleged expansion. Honourable members, the petitioners affirm that the issues in respect of which the petition is raised are not pending before any court of law, constitutional, or legal body. The petitioners therefore pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, 1, undertakes a thorough investigation into the alleged irregular and unlawful expansion of KWS land boundaries in Kitui South constituency, engages KWS and the County Government of Kitui to avail official maps, survey documents, gazette notices, and legal instruments supporting any land acquisition or boundary changes undertaken. 3, directs the Ministry of Lands, the Survey of Kenya, and the National Land Commission to conduct a transparent boundary verification exercise in line with public participation from the community. Order, Kipagendi. Order. It's out of order to take calls in the House to begin with, and more so when the Speaker is making a communication. 4, ensures that any land irregularly taken from the community is restored and that unlawful boundary markers are removed. 5, makes any other recommendations or takes any actions it deems appropriate to address the plight of the petitioners. Honourable members, having determined that the matters raised by the petitioner are well within the authority of this House, I order that, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 2271, this petition be committed to the Public Petitions Committee. The committee is required to consider the petition and report its findings to the House and the petitioner in accordance with Standing Order 2272. I thank you. Yes, Jared Okello.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, land as an issue has continued to remain volatile and very sensitive to the plight of our citizenry, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, it behoves the Petition Committee to not just move with speed, but look at the in-depth issues so that people in Runyenjes and Kianjokoma, all the way that we should be benefiting from the road project, need not also to be disenfranchised, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when the Kenya Wildlife Services is expanding its horizon, encroaching on private land, that is also a very serious matter that has the potential to bring chaos into this country that we all love. And therefore, the petition committee must go deeper than just the issues that have been raised. Honorable Speaker, this also affects families along Koru Soin, where a dam has since been birthed and construction has begun, Honorable Speaker. Some of the people who donated land for the project are yet to be compensated to date, Honorable Speaker. And there is a very clear policy and guidelines on remuneration or compensation of those whose lands are taken away through government projects, Honorable Speaker. At the moment, we are talking about the SGR, for example, that will be moving from Naivasha all the way to Kisumu to Malaba, Honorable Speaker. And those whose lands will be part of this project need not to be delayed at all when it comes to compensating for the land that will be used, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there's a lot of space in the skies. I remember, and Mr. Speaker, you were part of this, that there were fears when the idea of coming up with the expressway was birthed during the Prime Minister's time, Honorable Speaker, the late Honorable Raila Odinga, and may his soul rest in peace, that the people who have businesses along Mombasa Road were very fearful that their land, that their properties were going to be demolished, Honorable Speaker. And a decision was made that instead of demolishing people's properties, let us go up and have the expressway in the skies, Honorable Speaker. So we may, as a country, Honorable Speaker, especially in areas where there are differences on land compensation and land ownership, probably consider going up. If you go to places like Dubai, Honorable Speaker, and Singapore, where land is an issue, they have so chosen to build up the skies, Honorable Speaker. Nothing stops us as a nation also having our roads up in the skies, Honorable Speaker. And I thank you for according me the opportunity, Honorable Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you. Muliongi. Honorable Muliongi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this matter of petition from Kitui is a very volatile matter because a conflict between at the border of Tana River and Kitui has been going on for a very long time because of encroachment of camel herders and also the matter of KWS. Mr. Speaker, KWS, I do not understand how a public entity can allow encroachment into KWS land, which is gazetted. Mr. Speaker, KWS must move in swiftly and sort out this boundary issue so that they can demarcate the boundary of KWS and the residents amicably with the residents of both Kitui and Tana River. And this runs all the way from Mwingi North, coming to Mwingi Central, all the way to Kitui East and Kitui South. All those constituencies are affected by KWS. And when you call the local officers of KWS, one Mr. Ngeti, based at Mutomo, that fellow has gone rogue. The fellow is rude. The fellow is corrupt. Even when a call is made of distress, when elephants cross the border, those fellows do not respond. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the director of KWS to rein on Mr. Ngeti, based at Mutomo, and Mr. James Nzei, based at Mwingi, so that these officers can be disciplined and forced to work with the residents and the local leaders amicably. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Wario. 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also support my colleague who is also our neighbor. The KWS has become a thorn in the flesh. So, Mr. Speaker, I think 3 months ago, the House directed the DG KWS to sit with the local leadership and the community to resolve all matters surrounding the human-wildlife conflict and the boundaries to be resolved. So I think, Mr. Speaker, it is the right time. Those people from Kitui, Tana River, and Taita Taveta, the House to direct so that we sit together to resolve this matter of human-wildlife conflict and the boundary of Savo East to be resolved completely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I want to ask that we must, as a House, put in place, Honorable Speaker, a solution so that we all put together the complaints, especially the complaints that are touching on the government land or forestry land or even the Kenya Wildlife Service areas or jurisdictions, Honorable Speaker, so that then, Honorable Speaker, we can reduce the friction between entities that are owned by government and the people, because the people need to be there for the entities, especially KWS and even the forests, to be able to be protected. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to ask that we put together all these matters so that we can be able to address them, because if we continue going case by case, Honorable Speaker, it is going to take longer, and the people of Kenya would deserve and are qualified to receive services from this House, Honorable Speaker, will take longer to be able to receive it. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Zamzam, wewe ndio wa mwisho hapo.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuunga wenzangu mkono Mheshimiwa Spika. Utata wa mipaka umekuwa ukiendelea kwa muda mrefu Mheshimiwa Spika, na ukiangalia sehemu kama Ganze hata juzi tumepoteza mmoja wetu ama mwananchi kwa sababu ndovu ametoka huku akaingia huku. Na kwa hiyo mimi nataka pia kuweka msisitizo. Miaka ya nyuma kule ilikuwa KWS wanadhibiti mipaka yao vizuri, hatukuwa na hizi cases za watu kuuliwa na wanyama ama saa zote pengine wananchi ndio wameingia kwa wanyama, lakini kwa wakati huu inakaa ni kila mahali kuna crisis Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi wasiache wananchi kuchukua hatua kwa mikono yao, manake pia kupoteza wapendwa inaumiza Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo huu utata wa mipaka, hata wale ambao wameingia kwenye forest ama forest imeingia kwa watu, pia iangaliwe ili huu utata uweze kuisha. Kwa hiyo naunga wenzangu mkono Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable members, yes, Jalango. 1 minute, Baba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On matters KWS, even in my constituency in Langata, we've had issues where wild animals cross into people's homes. And all the time, we've raised these issues that the KWS must now come out really strong in safeguarding the different parks that they have. The Nairobi National Park has fences that allow even wild animals to cross into homes and into estates. And this has just not happened once, not twice, but even when we raise this concern, it is never even taken care of. So this time around, we request that they come out and make sure that the parks are much closed and that the people and the public are safe. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Order members on their feet, take your seats. Ngaleje, on this as well, I'll give you 1 minute, you'll be the very last then.
Thank you, Honorable.
Members on their feet, take your seats.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. It's because the matter concerns all of us. And Mr. Speaker, it should be taken seriously. In Elgeyo Marakwet, we have an area, a very fertile area, where people irrigate and plant their crops. They do tomatoes, they do watermelon. That is the Endo ward in Elgeyo Marakwet County, Tambach ward in Elgeyo Marakwet County, 2 wards, Mr. Speaker. And we have wildlife, to be specific, elephants, Mr. Speaker. Those people are no longer cultivating their land because the Kenya Wildlife Service has an office in Tot. They have staff domiciled in those areas. But Mr. Speaker, they do nothing pertaining it. I mean, theirs is just to stay there as the staff of KWS. So you find people plant their crops, but one day you find the elephants can invade overnight, and in the morning people wake up and they find that they have none of their crops. To grow a mango tree, Mr. Speaker, takes more than 5 years, but an elephant uproots it in 5 minutes, and it is a very devastating issue. It should be taken seriously, and KWS should tell us if they are not able to do that, we can take care of the elephants as well, Mr. Speaker, because it's like they will have the animals more than we'll have the human beings. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Order, members. Order. Order, members. Take your seat, honorable member. The two petitions are committed to the Public Petitions Committee to report back in the statutory 90 days. Karemba, you are the chair. Is the petition from Embu touching on your constituency?
Yes, it is, Honorable Speaker.
Is it engineered by you?
No, Honorable Speaker.
So when it comes to the committee, to avoid any conflict of interest, you let your vice chair chair the committee. Only that particular petition.
I hear you, Honorable Speaker.
You hear me or you understand me?
I understand you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, two things I want to acknowledge. I'm told I have a delegation of 40 chiefs from Mandera North constituency who are seated in a public gallery. I want to welcome them to the House and wish them a fruitful stay. Number two, I was not here when the Honorable Abraham Kirwa came back to the House after a long stay out of jurisdiction for health reasons. I want to take this opportunity to welcome him back to the House. On my behalf and on behalf of those who sit on this seat with me, and inform members that Honorable Kirwa is one of the clear examples on how PSC looks after our members. We gave him an air ambulance to save his life, and he stayed in hospital in America for quite some time. We thank God he's back. Secondly, I also want to inform the House that the Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, the member for Kwanza, is also unwell. He was in Nairobi Hospital for about a month, and the doctors recommended that we take him to India. He's now in India. Yesterday, I had a conference call with him and his spouse who took him. This morning, the clerk did the same. I'm saying this because I want to send a message to the evil rumor mongers out there in his constituency that he passed on and we are holding on to information maliciously. Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi has not passed on. He is in a hospital in India. He's responding well to treatment and is there with his wife and his daughter. And I have personally communicated with them. And honorable members, this can happen to any one of you. And we should condemn people who take people's plight and start spreading wicked rumors that have no value to anybody, not even themselves. Next. Yes, who is that? Who? Oh, Major Bashir. Yes, you are the owner of the chiefs.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I want to join you in welcoming the chiefs from Mandera North, Mandera County, to the House of Parliament, specifically to the National Assembly. And chiefs, you are most welcome to this house. and enjoy the proceedings of this House. I know you are here in Nairobi and you came for a meeting with His Excellency the President. Having finished the meeting, you found it deemed unnecessary to pass through the National Assembly so that you can see and feel where your elected member of parliament is also doing his job. And I want to thank you for finding time to visit us. You are most welcome. I know the chiefs are very, very important in the counties and the constituencies and sub-counties. You are a link between the people and the government services. I want to encourage you to continue serving the people of Mandera North and Mandera County in general so that services can be delivered to the great people of Mandera and Kenya at large. You are most welcome and feel free to interact with us once the session ends. Asanteni sana, karibuni.
Thank you, Bashir. Next. I'll call you in a few minutes. Yes, Honorable Milemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you for what you took us through in terms of our members of parliament. But Honorable Speaker, there's also rumor in the air that we have a third senior counsel in the House who has not also been officially acknowledged. And rumor has it that you are the one, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, if you could clear the air.
Thank you, Honorable Milemba. It is so. Next.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I request you to indulge me, Honorable Speaker, on indulge me, Honorable Speaker, as before I want to congratulate you, Honorable Speaker, for being a senior counsel, that prestigious class of lawyers in this country, and we are proud to have you as our speaker and a senior counsel. So we want to congratulate you. Secondly, I also want to wish the Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi a quick recovery as he recovers from the hospital in India. I'll not be there during the state press statement, Honorable Speaker, but I want to wish members well as we proceed on our long recess, Honorable Speaker, and to thank members who have supported us as leadership during this time, during this session, Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank each and every one of you. And also to welcome the new members. Please, always be here when the bell rings, so that during quorum, we don't have to run out of quorum, and yet we have several members that are new. Honorable Speaker, I want to lay the papers now. Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2024, in the afternoon sitting. 1. Addendum to the performance audit report on management of cash and domestic debt by the National Treasury from the Office of the Attorney General. 2. Sessional paper number 3 of 2025 on partial divestiture in Safaricom PLC by Government of Kenya from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important paper which I would like to request members to grab and read. There has been a lot of talk on the issue of Safaricom divestiture. Now we are laying the paper, the sessional paper for the same, and it is important that you pick this, you read it, so that we avoid the rumor mongering that I have had several members of parliament talk about on the media about the Safaricom divestiture. We have a sessional paper that is actually doing that. 3rd, first quarter report for financial year 2025-2026 on the implementation of the Equalization Fund from Equalization Advisory Board. This is a very important paper, Honorable Speaker, especially for those that come from areas that benefit from Equalization Fund. We have the first report, and it's important that you have a look at it. 4, rapid assessment report of the Auditor General on national government's action on addressing climate change. 5, Auditor General's performance audit report on provision of emergency medical care services in Kenya. 6th, 5th annual report of the Data Protection Commissioners for the financial year 2024-2025. Seventh, reports of the Auditor General and the financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2025 and the certificates therein in respect of A, Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya, B, Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, C, Jomo Kenyatta Foundation, D, Kaelo Technical and Vocational Training College, E, Kenya Academy of Sports, and F, Kiambu National Polytechnic, G, Lafay Technical and Vocational Training College, H, Lagdera Technical and Vocational College, I, Laisamis Technical Training Institute, J, Lugari Diploma Teachers Training College, K, Mandera Technical Training Institute, J, Meru University of Science and Technology, M, Mukiria Technical Training Institute, N, Mumias West Technical and Vocational College, or Musakasa Technical Training Institute, P, Nkabune Technical Training Institute, Q, Ramu Technical and Vocational Training College, R, Runyenjes Technical and Vocational College, S, St. Mark's Teachers College, Kigari, T, Tarbaj Technical and Vocational College, U, Technical University of Mombasa Enterprises Limited, V, Thika Technical Training Institute, W, Tigania East Technical and Vocational College, X, University of Embu, and Y, Water Technical Training and Institute, and Z, Ziwa Technical Training Institute. Honorable Speaker, as I lay this paper, I would like to draw members, Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, to sessional paper number 3 of 2025 on the partial divestiture in Safaricom PLC by Government of Kenya from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. This paper now is available, Honorable Speaker, for people to look at. I thank you and I beg to lay.
Members on their feet, take your seats. You've given me two.
Because the first one relates to the audit report, and this one now is will communicate the papers that have been made in relation to 1 and 2.
Okay.
So this is the one for Safari.
And this one?
This one is the one for the audit. So you will start with the audit one.
Order, members. Order. Honorable members, in relation to the papers laid by the majority leader at Roman 1 and 2, I have the following guidance to give to the House. The first one is on the consideration of the performance audit report on management of cash and domestic debt by the National Treasury. I wish to bring to the attention of the House an addendum to the performance audit report by the Auditor General on management of cash and domestic debt by the National Treasury, which has just been tabled by the leader of the majority party. The addendum report has been submitted pursuant to the provision of Section 39(1) of the Public Audit Act, Cap. For members, you will recall that the performance audit report on management of cash and domestic debt by the National Treasury was tabled in the House on Tuesday, 1st October 2024, and I referred it to the Public Accounts Committee and Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, respectively, for consideration. In this regard, the addendum is hereby similarly committed to the two committees for concurrent consideration with the performance audit report initially tabled. Additionally, honorable members, further to the Speaker's communication of 13th May 2024, committees of the House are encouraged to prioritize the examination of performance audit reports submitted by the Auditor General and table their respective reports for consideration by the House. You are accordingly guided. The second one is in relation to the consideration of sessional paper number 3 of 2025 on partial divestiture in Safaricom PLC by the Government of Kenya. Honourable members, you may note that the leader of the majority party has just laid before the House sessional paper number 3 of 2025 on the proposal for the partial divestiture in Safaricom PLC by the Government of Kenya as submitted by the National Treasury and Economic Planning. The sessional paper proposes to divest the government's shareholding in Safaricom PLC to facilitate the mobilization of resources to be allocated to critical infrastructure development. Honourable members, the sessional paper is hereby referred to the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning and the Select Committee on Public Debt and Privatization for joint consideration. The Committee on Finance and National Planning is designated as the lead committee. Given the nature of the proposals contained in the sessional paper and the fact that the House is scheduled to proceed for its long recess later today, I have directed the clerk to invite the public and stakeholders to submit views on the sessional paper for a period not less than 30 days as from Monday, 8th December 2025. Honourable members, aware that the committee sittings shall stand suspended until 26 January 2026 upon adjournment of today's sitting, in accordance with the calendar of the House, the two committees are hereby permitted to commence their sittings as from Monday, 18th January 2026. This earlier resumption of their sittings shall allow the committees to conduct extensive public participation to obtain the views of the affected stakeholders, noting that Safaricom PLC is a government-linked company that is listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. The committees are urged to expeditiously submit their report in the House for consideration at the conclusion of the hearings and stakeholders' consultations. The House is accordingly guided. Honourable members, you are also aware today is your last sitting of this session, so I encourage you not to cause any quorum hitches in the House so that we can dispose of most of the listed business. I have also been requested by the Minority Chief Whip that some of your colleagues whom we swore in on Tuesday are keen to make their maiden speeches today. I will, at about 4 p.m., allow those who are ready a 3-minute stint. It will not be in contribution to any matter on the floor. Ordinarily, when I first came here, our maiden speeches were captured in our contribution to motions and bills. But I want to allow them 3 minutes or so to just address the House and perhaps break the stage fright that you may be having so that you get inducted into the spirit of talking to your colleagues here. You know, this House has very many of us, a cocktail of Kenyans. You'll find teachers here, you'll find lawyers here, you'll find professors here, you'll find traders here, you'll find policemen here, you'll find army men here, you'll find lawyers here, you'll find everybody here. Yes. Next, I don't know any Mambamboga in this House, but I know we have a lot of ladies. Okay. Yes, next is the chairperson, Departmental Committee on Labor. Chonga.
Thank you, Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2025. Reports on the Departmental Committee on Labor on 1. Approval hearing of Mr. Ali Abdallah Sarau for appointment as the Commissioner, as the Commission Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. 2 is consideration for the Industrial Training Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 50 of 2024. 3, its attendance for the African Public Service Day, APSD, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, from 21st to 23rd June 2025. And finally, its attendance for the 20th Regional Seminar for Labor-Based Practitioners in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia from 19th to 23rd May. I beg to lay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Chonga, Chairperson, Select Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity. Yusuf.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, the 4th December 2025, the fourth report of the Select Committee of National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on Employment Diversity Audit in Public Institutions. Thank you, sir.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development. Lord, is that Lisa Chelule? You had Aku in your committee? Or you have the Vice Chair? Go ahead.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to just request you, Mr. Speaker, sir, that before I lay the papers, I really want to thank God for healing Honorable Kirwa, and we believe that he will also heal Honorable Wanyonyi. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development and on its consideration of the Fire and Rescue Services Professionals Bill, Senate Bill number 55 of 2025. Thank you.
Chairperson, Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee. Honorable Mulyungi.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2025. Reports of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of reports of the Auditor General as follows. Number 1, 11th report of the audited accounts of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for West Mungirago, Bombasi, Awendo, North Imendi, Kirinyaga Central, South Mungirango, Ugenya, Kieni, Kipipiri, Bundalangi, and the Kiaru constituencies for the financial years 2013-14, 2014-15, 2015-16, 2016-17, 2017-18, 2018-19, 2019-2020, 2020-2021, and the 2021/2022. And number 2, the 12th report of the audited accounts of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for constituencies in Uasin Gishu, Nandi, Baringo, and the Bomet constituencies for the financial years 2013-14, 2014-15, 2015-16, 2016-17, 2017-18, 2018-19, 2019-2020, 2020-2021, 2021-2022, and the 2022-2023. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Hussein Bare. Leader of Delegation to IPU.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2025. Report of the Parliament of Kenya delegation to the 2025 hearing of the Interparliamentary Union held at the United Nations in New York, USA from 13th to 14th February 2025. Thank you.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock. DK.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2025. Report on the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock regarding its inquiry into the pricing of tea in Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Vice Chair, Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations, accompanied by the State Department for Diaspora Affairs on a visit to Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the United Arab Emirates from 8th to 15th June 2025. Thank you.
Chairperson, Select Committee on Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 4th December 2025. Reports of the Select Committee on Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library report on 1. Its participation in the Mobile World Congress held in Kigali, Rwanda, from 21st to 23rd October 2025, and 2. Capacity building program on monitoring and evaluation in the legislature in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, from 19th to 26th October 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order. Honorable members have been requested by the majority leader. If you look at your order paper, we have a procedural motion at order number 8, being just a procedural motion regarding business of the day. I'll invite the majority leader to move that procedural motion before we go back to order number 6. Osoro, call it out. Hold on, Osoro, it has to be called out.
Order number 8, procedural motion. Resolution to hold a Thursday evening sitting.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 30, hours of meeting in this House, that this House resolves that the afternoon sitting of today, Thursday, 4th of December 2025, terminates at 4 p.m. And 2, to enter an evening sitting, and this is now where the catch is, Honorable Speaker, today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, commencing at 4:15 p.m., of course, the evening sitting, for purposes of considering priority business. And finally, Honorable Speaker, that the evening sitting of today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, shall adjourn at 9 p.m. Honorable Speaker, the basis of this procedural motion, Honorable Speaker, is to seek to have our sitting, or rather today's sitting adjourned at exactly 9 p.m. For the very reason, Honorable Speaker, that the Deputy Majority Leader stated earlier, that today is the final sitting day for this session. And according to the Parliament's calendar, that there is need for us to dispense of every business that needed to be dispensed of, Honorable Speaker, before we break out for the long recess. Of course, we have the games, and then, of course, the long recess until February. So it's important, Honorable Speaker, that we try and brace ourselves for a long sitting, just up to about 9 p.m. today. We finish up all the things that are lined up, Honorable Speaker, for today's session, and again, create another session for 4 p.m. and another session, Honorable Speaker, for 4:15 p.m., so that all this business, Honorable Speaker, will be dispensed of, Honorable Speaker. So I beg to move and ask the minority whip, the Honorable Millie Odhiambo, to second, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to second. It's a fairly straightforward matter because we need to conclude some of the urgent issues before the House, and so we'll need that extra session. I do second. Thank you.
Members on their feet, take your seats. So members, I now propose the question at order number 8, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 30, hours of meeting, this House resolves 1, that the afternoon sitting of today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, terminates at 4 p.m. 2, to end an evening sitting today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, commencing at 4:15 evening sitting for purposes of considering priority business, and 3, that the evening sitting of today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, shall adjourn at 9 p.m. We put the question. I now put the question, which is that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 30 hours of meeting, this House resolves, 1, that the afternoon sitting of today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, terminates at 4 p.m. 2, to end an evening sitting today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, commencing at 4:15 p.m. evening sitting for purposes of considering priority business. And 3, that the evening sitting of today, Thursday, 4th December 2025, shall adjourn at 9 p.m. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Go back to order number 6.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Chairperson, Select Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the House adopt the 4th report of the Select Committee of National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on employment diversity audit in public institutions laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 4th December 2025. Thank you.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Labor. Chonga.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice of motion of the following motion, that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Labor in its report on the approval hearing of a nominee for appointment as the Commission Secretary / Chief Executive Officer of Salaries and Remuneration Commission laid on the table of this House on Thursday, 4th December 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 16, Subsection 1 of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission Act, 412D, and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. This House approves the appointment of Mr. Ali Abdallah Sorow as the Commission Secretary cum Chief Executive Officer of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Vice Chairperson, the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations. Major Bashir.
Honorable Speaker, I give notice of motion on the following report of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations, and accompanied by the State Department for Diaspora Affairs on a visit to Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the United Arab Emirates from the 8th to 15th June 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next. Clerk, next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Chairperson, Select Committee on National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF, Musa Sirma.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give the following statement from the NGCDF committee. Honorable members, I rise to make a statement on behalf of the National Assembly Select Committee on the National Government Constituency Development Fund regarding the status of the fund as at 3rd of December 2025. Allocation to the fund and constituency budget ceiling. Honorable members, for the financial year 2025-2026, the National Government Constituency Development Fund was allocated a total of Kenya shillings 58,797,728,147. Pursuant to Section 6
and 34 of the NGCDF Act, the NGCDF board determined the budget ceiling for all 290 constituencies. The budget ceilings were presented before the National Assembly Select Committee on NGCDF on the 31st of July, 2025. The chairman tabled the report of the committee before this House on 6th of August 2025, pursuant to Section 34 of the NGCDF Act, whereby constituencies with 8 wards were allocated 221,505,235. Constituencies with 7 wards were allocated 211,874,573. Constituencies with 6 wards were allocated 202,243,910. Constituencies with 5 wards were allocated 192,613,248.
Isn't that information generally known to everybody?
It is known.
So why are you reading it? Just go to the important points.
Okay. Status and approval of project. Following the approval of the budget ceiling by NASC and NGCDF, the board issued a circular reference NGCDF FB/CEO/NGCDF circular volume 3004 dated 17 September 2025 to all fund account managers. The circular required constituencies committees to submit their respective project proposal not later than 17 of October 2025. Pursuant to Section 16 of the NGCDF Act, the board is mandated to consider project proposals submitted from various constituencies in accordance with the Act, approve for funding those project proposals as consistent with the Act, and ensure timely and efficient disbursement of the funds for implementation of approved projects. As at 3rd of December 2025, 282 constituencies had submitted their project proposals to the board, while 8 constituencies had not submitted their project proposal. Details are on this document. Out of the 282 constituencies project proposal received, 201 had been deliberated on by the board. Further, a meeting of the board of projects had been scheduled for today, the 4th of December, to deliberate on 50 constituencies. Project proposals which had not been received or had not met the threshold for tabling before the board as at 27th of November, when the last board committee on project met. I therefore urge the remaining 8 constituencies to expedite submission of their project proposal, since they are already outside the timeline set by the board. Not to emphasize the further delay in submission on project proposals would result in delay in approval and implementation of project proposals to the disadvantage of the targeted Kenyans. Receipt of the funds. Under Section 39(2) of the NGCDF Act 2015 says that the disbursement of funds to the constituency fund accounts shall be effected at the beginning of the first quarter of each financial year, with the initial amount equivalent to 25% of the annual allocation for the constituency, and therefore constituency's fund account shall be replenished in 3 equal installments at the beginning of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter of the financial year. The status as of today, 4th July 2025, the board had received all the outstanding arrears from the National Treasury of last year, the 2024-25, of 13,455,900. As of today also, on the financial year 2025-2026, this being the 2nd quarter of the financial year, the expected disbursement to the fund as per provision of Section 39(2) of the NGCDF Act is 29,398,864,74, out of which 21,697 728,147 has already been received by the board, leaving a balance of 7,701,135,927. The funds were received as follows. That is the 2nd of October, 2025, 5,797,728,147. 29th of October, 10,600,000,000. On 1st of December, which is a few days ago, we received 5,300,000,000, totaling 21,697,728,147. Status of disbursement of the funds to the constituencies and issuance of authority to incur expenditure. The board has disbursed a total of 12,440,000,000 shillings to 264 constituencies for administrative and recurrent expenditures, bursaries, emergency reserve, and implementation of substantive constituency projects. AIEs attached with code list for the approved projects amounting to 2,060,000,000 disbursed on 21st of October 2025 has since been dispatched to the constituencies. The board is in the process of processing AIEs attached to code list of the approved projects amounting to 10,380,000,000 disbursed as on 19th of November 2025. Status of approval of projects. To date, there are projects proposal amounting to 1,588,133,482 for various financial years that are yet to be approved by the board due to delay in provision of information required by the board to facilitate the approved project proposal as shown. 2024-2025, 1,181,155,240. 2023-2024, in 53 constituencies, 316,626,868. 2022-2023, 12 constituencies with 63,267,495. In 2021-2022, 3 constituencies, they have a balance of 12,950,000 only. On 2020-2021,
How much more to go?
just about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yes. So all that, Mr. Speaker, we have a total of 1,588,133,482 of the various financial years which are passed, which have not been approved because of lack of provision of documents. The project proposals pursuant to Section 5.6, which provides that the board shall set out general conditions and requirements for release of the funds to ensure the efficient management of resources. In conclusion, I wish to reaffirm the committee's commitment to continued engagement with National Treasury to ensure timely release of remaining funds. I further urge all constituencies to promptly provide information required by the board to facilitate timely approval of projects, proposals, and disbursement of funds to facilitate implementation of projects for the benefit of the people of Kenya. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Musa Selma Gisairo. Just
thank you,
1
Chair.
minute.
Chair, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on 16th October 2025, a letter from Treasury addressed to the Clerk of the House gave a clear schedule on how Treasury plans to disburse the CDF money to the board. Honorable Speaker, what I expected my chair to tell us is where they are in those disbursements and why the delay. Because, Honorable Speaker, The first tranche of 5.7 was disbursed. The second for September and October was disbursed in October. But the November disbursement of 5.3 and December, which we should be expecting, has not been disbursed. Every other things that are in that message to the House is too much detail just to confuse the House and keep us hoping, yet this is the last day. What we want to hear is, when is the November disbursement of 5.3 being disbursed together with the December disbursement? Because schools are opening in a few weeks' time, bursaries are needed, and we are here listening to stories. Honorable Speaker,
Moses Sirma,
can this chair, my chair, in a committee that I sit,
You are in that
give this
committee.
House clarity?
will you ensure that the disbursements are done?
Mr. Speaker, I discussed to the CS National Treasury, and he promised that within this month of December, he will be able to make the 7 billion, which is a balance to clean the quarter. But we even want more. For you to be able to disburse your bursary, we should have a total of 32 billion so that you can be able to complete the bursary in January. Thank you.
I don't want to open debate on this. Yes, Karoli?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for indulging me. Could the Honorable Chair confirm that Treasury has issued a circular to the NGCDF committees revoking the earlier circulars and exempting all NGCDF projects? Yes. Because there's a problem. They can't procure. Yes, please. Thank you.
Maybe Sirma may not have the capacity to answer that. But I can tell the House that the House Business Committee, and I think Millie, you should be the one to inform the House out of our meeting with the CS Treasury on matters Parliament. Can you? Yes, go ahead in a minute or so.
Mr. Speaker, I think, first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity. We had a very progressive meeting with the CS Treasury. And what I can say is that a lot of the concerns that have been raised by the members have been fully addressed. I will unpackage more after. But the issues that have been concern of members have been fully addressed.
For good reason, Karoli, we leave it there. Yeah. Your concerns have been addressed. GK? Yes, Majority Leader? GK, are you ready with the statement? How long is it? Okay. Osoro, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I am holding brief for the Honorable Majority Leader in his usual Thursday statement. That, Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44(2)A, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 2nd December 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, as members are aware, the House is scheduled to proceed for long recess, commencing at the rise of the House today, in today's sitting at 9 p.m., going by our calendar, for regular sittings. I wish to take this opportunity to thank the leadership and members of this House for your dedication and active participation during the session. Honorable Speaker, the House sat longer on some days and had additional sittings to conclude various items of priority. In retrospect, I believe we have achieved a lot, dared greatly, shown enthusiasm, and great devotion. Honorable Speaker, just to pick up a few accomplishments during this session, the House passed key legislations, such as the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill of 2025, the Social Protection Bill of 2025, the Conflict of Interest Bill of 2023, and even the Person with Disability Bill, Honorable Speaker, the Senate Bill number 7 of 2023. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, the House considered and approved various nominees for appointment for public and state positions, including the approval of 7 persons to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, approval of 13 persons as principal secretaries, and approval of other state and public officers. Honorable Speaker, as we recollect and appreciate what has been achieved, I wish to point out that the mission for the 13th Parliament is not yet over. We still have significant number of legislative proposals, bills, statutory instruments, and other reports that will most certainly need to our keen attention when the House resumes on Tuesday, 10th February 2026. 10th February 2026. I therefore urge members to rest, rejuvenate, and spend time with their families and constituents during the holidays so as to return with energy in the new year. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, I also wish to take this opportunity to inform honorable members that should need arise, the House may be recalled for a special sitting pursuant to the Standing Order 29 to consider important pending business and other urgent businesses that may arise in the interim. So in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the House Business Committee, I wish all a happy festive season as you interact with your families, constituents, and other Kenyans. And I wish to remind the newly elected honorable members that the House, of course, resumes in February 10th, 2026, so that they don't find themselves here, Honorable Speaker, next week on Tuesday, when we'll be in recess, Honorable Speaker. I also take this opportunity to wish Team Kenya success at the 15th edition of the East African Community Interparliamentary Games that will take place in Kampala, Uganda, from next week. We hope to take all the medals, Honorable Speaker, and of course, reclaim the glory that had been taken by our neighbors who will be hosting us, Honorable Speaker. I now wish to lay this statement, Honorable Speaker, on the table of the House, and I thank you, honorable members. Thank you very much.
Yes, Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank Honorable Soro for that presentation. I've raised this issue as a matter of concern, and it has not been addressed by Parliament over the years, that people play different sports, and my sport is dancing, but we have not been able to incorporate dancing. Can we please put dancing as a sport in subsequent years? The ones who want ballet can do. Me, I just want Ohangla. We compete with Uganda and Tanzania.
You will be in the delegation to dance for those who win.
No, I want to get...
Yes, Ondo. Yes. Yes, Ondo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me also thank the majority side for the statement, and also let me take this opportunity to wish Team Kenya success in the games in Uganda. I've seen a very colorful special edition, very colorful, and I can see, Honorable Speaker, you say, go for more titles, Speaker Wetangula rallies Team Kenya, head of 2025 ESC Games. These are games for friendship, for deepening, extending friendship. So as much as those who will make it to Uganda, as you go for the gold, for these other medals, please also go and make friendship in Uganda. Uganda, normally they're very friendly people, they're very welcoming. We wish after playing, don't exhaust all the energy, playing in the field, also spare a bit of energy to interact. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, a number of our community, the Samia people, straddle both the borders of Kenya and Uganda, and about 5 constituencies are in Uganda. So on behalf of the Samia people, who probably are the majority and the most prominent people in Uganda, just like we are in Kenya, we welcome you, and as you walk around, I will accompany you to talk the language, because our language is spoken also in Uganda. Thanks a lot. Please go over and make us proud, but remember, we must leave some footmarks and footprints for us to remember forever. Thank you.
I know your mind is profane on this. Honorable members, following the motion you passed, in case at order 8, what order, Koimburi, take your seats. Honorable members, following the motion we passed, procedurally, we have to literally and physically adjourn the House, escort the mess. The bell will be rung at 4:10, then we come back and start at 4:15. When we come back, I'll start with the maiden speeches, if you allow. The young people, your colleagues who are elected, have asked me that 3 minutes may be too little, so I'll give them 5 minutes each. How many are in the House? I see 3. So I'll give them, if I give them 5, that's 15 minutes. Then we go on to other matters. No, you don't stand. Lelmengit, you are not in the business of misleading your new colleagues, are you? Boyd, if you stood up, you'd have been totally out of order. So don't take his advice. Honorable members, it is now 4 p.m. The House stands adjourned until today at 4:15. And please maintain quorum until we finish the day. 4:15.